Think about this for a moment. Inside your chest, there's a muscle working harder than any other in your body. It started beating before you were even born, and it hasn't stopped for a single second since. Day and night, while you sleep, while you work, even when you're stressed, this muscle keeps pushing life through your veins. But here's the catch. Unlike your arms or legs, you can't feel it getting tired. You don't hear it asking for help. One day, if neglected, it simply fails. And that failure is what we call a heart attack. The truth is, your cardiac muscle is both your strongest ally and your most fragile link. The question is, are you giving it the care it deserves? When we talk about heart health and diabetes, one of the most underestimated treasures is found not in the pharmacy, but in a simple handful of nuts and seeds. Almonds, walnuts, flax seeds, and chia seeds. These tiny foods carry massive power. Let's start with walnuts. Their magic comes from alpha-linolenic acid, or ALA, which is a plant form of omega-3. Although the body only converts a small amount of ALA into the stronger omega-3s EPA and DHA, research shows that walnuts themselves can lower bad cholesterol, improve artery flexibility, and reduce inflammation. In fact, clinical trials like the PREDIMED study revealed that a Mediterranean diet enriched with nuts significantly reduced the risk of heart attack and stroke. Almonds bring something different to the table: monounsaturated fats, vitamin E, and magnesium. Vitamin E is a natural antioxidant that protects heart tissue from damage. Magnesium relaxes blood vessels and helps control blood sugar. Eating just a small handful of almonds daily has been shown to improve lipid profiles and glycemic control in older adults. Now, flax seeds and chia seeds are often called superfoods. Why? Because they're not only rich in ALA, but also in fiber and lignans. Lignans are compounds that our gut bacteria transform into enterolignans. These have estrogen-like and antioxidant effects that support blood vessels and reduce blood pressure. Several meta-analyses confirm that regular flax seed consumption lowers systolic blood pressure by several points, a meaningful difference for someone at risk of stroke or heart failure. How does the body handle these compounds? ALA from flax and chia is absorbed, but as I mentioned, very little turns into DHA. That's why fish is still important. But the fiber in these seeds is fermented into short-chain fatty acids in the gut, which improves insulin sensitivity and blood sugar control, an extra bonus for diabetics. Now, about dosage. For nuts, about 30 grams a day is considered ideal, roughly one small handful. For flaxseed, 2 tablespoons of ground seed daily are enough. Remember, ground flaxseed is better absorbed than whole seeds. For chia, 1 to 2 tablespoons a day is sufficient. Of course, no food is perfect. Nut allergies can be severe, so anyone with such history must avoid them completely. Flax and chia should always be taken with water because their fiber swells and may cause digestive discomfort otherwise. And people taking certain medications, like anticoagulants or thyroid medicines, should separate the timing from flaxseed because the fiber can interfere with absorption. According to large population studies, people who eat nuts 5 or more times per week have about a 20% lower risk of dying from heart disease compared to those who rarely eat them. Imagine a 20% risk reduction simply from a daily handful. So the next time you reach for a snack, think twice. A packet of chips will damage your arteries, but a small handful of nuts could strengthen your heart muscle and protect your blood sugar balance. Fish. Let's begin with one of the most powerful foods for the heart: fish. Especially fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel. Why are these so special? Because they are packed with omega-3 fatty acids, particularly EPA and DHA. These compounds are like natural medicine for your heart muscle. They reduce inflammation inside blood vessels, lower triglycerides, improve the flexibility of arteries, and even stabilize the heart's rhythm, lowering the risk of sudden cardiac death. How does the body handle them? After you eat fish, EPA and DHA are absorbed in your intestine and carried into your blood. From there, they are built into the membranes of your heart and blood vessel cells. Inside the body, they also convert into special molecules called resolvins and protectins. These are not just passive fats, but active defenders that shut down harmful inflammation. Now let's look at the science. The American Heart Association recommends at least 2 servings of fatty fish per week. Why? Because large studies show that people who eat fish regularly have fewer heart attacks and strokes. In fact, clinical trials using concentrated fish oil showed that at higher doses, about 4 grams a day, triglycerides can be cut by up to 30%. That's as powerful as some prescription drugs. But it's not only about lowering numbers on a lab test. Regular fish intake has been linked with reduced risk of sudden cardiac death, one of the scariest ways heart disease strikes. That's because omega-3s make the electrical system of the heart more stable, preventing dangerous arrhythmias. Now, of course, no food is perfect. Fish can carry contaminants like mercury. That's why older adults should choose safer, low-mercury fish, such as salmon, sardines, trout, and anchovies. Avoid shark, king mackerel, and swordfish. And if you are allergic to fish, omega-3s can be obtained from algae-based supplements instead. High doses of omega-3 may also slightly increase bleeding risk, so people on blood thinners should consult their doctor. So, what is the right dose? For healthy older adults, aim for 2 servings of fatty fish per week, each serving around 100 grams, about the size of your palm. If your triglycerides are very high, a doctor may prescribe higher-dose fish oil capsules. But for most, food is enough. And here's a shocking fact. Studies show that just 2 servings of fatty fish per week can reduce the risk of sudden cardiac death by up to 1/3. Imagine a simple meal change protecting your life. So remember, adding fish to your diet is not just nutrition, it is a form of heart treatment you can practice at the dinner table. Now let's move on to a fruit that has gained worldwide popularity in recent years, the avocado. Many people think of it as a trendy food. But in reality, it is a powerful ally for the heart, especially after the age of 50. What makes avocado special is its rich content of monounsaturated fatty acids, mainly oleic acid. This is the same healthy fat that gives olive oil its protective power. These fats help lower the harmful LDL cholesterol, raise the protective HDL cholesterol, and reduce inflammation in the blood vessels. But avocado does more. It is loaded with dietary fiber, both soluble and insoluble. The soluble fiber slows down the absorption of sugar into the bloodstream, which helps keep blood sugar levels stable. That's why avocados are considered sugar-friendly and safe for diabetics in moderation. Another star nutrient in avocado is potassium. In fact, gram for gram, avocados often contain more potassium than bananas. Potassium helps relax blood vessels, reduces blood pressure, and takes workload off the heart muscle. For someone over 50, this means less stress on already aging arteries. Now, how does the body handle these compounds? The healthy fats from avocado are absorbed in the gut and used to build cell membranes and energy reserves. The fiber moves slowly through the digestive tract, giving satiety and improving gut health. Phytosterols in avocado compete with dietary cholesterol, preventing some of it from being absorbed. Another cholesterol-lowering effect. What does research say? In large population studies, people who regularly eat avocado have a significantly lower risk of coronary heart disease compared to those who don't. Some clinical trials show that including avocado in a balanced diet improves LDL cholesterol and triglycerides, though results vary depending on the population studied. The consistent message is, avocados are heart-friendly. How much should you eat? About half an avocado a day is a good portion. It gives you the benefits without overloading calories. Remember, avocados are calorie-dense, healthy, but heavy. Eating too much may lead to weight gain, which itself stresses the heart. Are there any cautions? Yes. People with late-stage kidney disease need to be careful because avocados are rich in potassium, and too much potassium can be harmful if the kidneys cannot remove it properly. Rarely, people with latex allergy may also react to avocado. Now here's a shocking fact. Replacing just 2 servings per week of butter, cheese, or processed meat with the same amount of avocado has been linked with a 16–22% lower risk of cardiovascular disease in large studies. Imagine, simply swapping spreads on your bread could protect your heart. So the next time you want to add creaminess to your meal, skip the butter and mayo, go for avocado. Your heart muscle will thank you. Now let's talk about a liquid that has been called liquid gold for the heart, extra virgin olive oil. It's not just a cooking fat. It is one of the most researched foods in cardiovascular medicine. The main power of olive oil comes from two groups of compounds: monounsaturated fatty acids, especially oleic acid, and a wide range of polyphenols, such as hydroxytyrosol and oleuropein. The fats improve cholesterol balance, while the polyphenols act as strong antioxidants and anti-inflammatory agents. Together, they reduce the wear and tear on blood vessels and protect the heart muscle. How do they work in the body? When you consume olive oil, oleic acid is absorbed and incorporated into cell membranes, making them more fluid and less prone to oxidative damage. The polyphenols, although present in small amounts, are metabolized in the liver and circulate as active metabolites that calm inflammation and improve endothelial function. That means your arteries relax and blood flows more smoothly. What does science say? One of the most famous studies in the world, the pre-dimed trial from Spain, tested a Mediterranean diet supplemented with extra virgin olive oil or nuts. The results were dramatic. People eating olive oil daily had a significantly lower risk of heart attack, stroke, and death from cardiovascular causes compared to those on a low-fat diet. That's real clinical trial evidence, not just theory. How much is enough? For most people, 2 to 4 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil per day is ideal. Use it as your main cooking oil, drizzle it over salads, or dip whole grain bread into it. But remember, it's calorie-dense, so balance is important if you're watching your weight. Are there cautions? Very few. At normal dietary amounts, olive oil is safe for almost everyone. The only concern is portion size for people on strict calorie control. Otherwise, it is one of the safest fats you can consume. And here's a shocking fact. In the pre-dimed study, people given extra virgin olive oil had about a 30% lower risk of major cardiovascular events compared to those told to eat a low-fat diet. That's not from a pill or a surgery. That's from a food you can add to your plate today. So if you want to protect your heart muscle, control your cholesterol and enjoy delicious meals. Make extra virgin olive oil your primary fat. It's truly a medicine disguised as food. Ginger. Finally, let's look at a spice that has been used for thousands of years in traditional medicine: ginger. You might think of it as just a flavor for tea or cooking, but modern science confirms that ginger has real effects on both the heart and blood sugar. The main active compounds in ginger are called gingerols and shogaols. These are bioactive molecules that act as antioxidants and anti-inflammatories. They help reduce oxidative stress in blood vessels and may improve circulation. How do they act in the body? After you eat ginger, these compounds are absorbed and quickly metabolized in the liver into active forms. They travel through the bloodstream, where they help relax blood vessels, slightly reduce platelet stickiness, and improve insulin sensitivity. This means ginger not only supports healthy blood pressure, but also helps the body manage glucose more effectively. What does research say? Several clinical trials and meta-analyses suggest that taking ginger in amounts of 1 to 3 grams per day can modestly lower fasting blood sugar, HbA1c, and even blood pressure in people with type 2 diabetes. Some studies show stronger results than others, but the overall trend is promising. Now, what about contraindications? At normal culinary doses, ginger is safe for most people. But at higher supplement doses, it can increase bleeding risk, especially if someone is on blood thinners like warfarin or aspirin. It may also interact with certain blood pressure or sugar-lowering medications. So always use caution and talk with your doctor before taking strong ginger supplements. The safe, practical dose is simple. Enjoy a few grams of fresh ginger daily, whether in tea, curries, or soups. In research studies, about 1 to 3 grams of dried ginger powder per day was used, but even small daily amounts in food may offer benefits over time. And here's a shocking fact. Some trials show that ginger supplements lowered HbA1c, a long-term marker of blood sugar, by almost the same amount as certain prescription drugs. Imagine a spice from your kitchen showing measurable results in diabetic control. So the next time you prepare tea or cook a meal, add a slice of ginger. It's a simple step that can protect your arteries, support your heart muscle, and help keep your blood sugar steady. Each of these foods works in a unique way, but together, They create a protective shield for your heart muscle and blood sugar, especially after the age of 50. Remember, small daily choices add up. 2 fish meals a week, a handful of nuts a day, half an avocado with lunch, 2 tablespoons of olive oil on your salad, a slice of ginger in your tea. Simple steps, but backed by strong science. Now here's my question for you. Which one of these 5 foods will you add to your meal today? Leave your answer in the comments below. I'd love to see what you choose. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because together we can build stronger hearts and healthier lives. Thank you for watching, and take care of your heart.